Welcome. Oh my goodness, the energy in this room is palpable. I can feel it. Can you feel it? Woo! I am just so thrilled and honored to see so many beautiful, shining faces in this space. I'm the Reverend Samaya Oakley, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers. And I am delighted to be the minister in this congregation. So welcome to the home of Calgary Unitarians, a place where we are united by values rather than the belief in one set of creed or dogma. Our values include acceptance of one another, compassion and commitment to justice and equity. We explore the mysteries of life, pursue ethical living, live out our spirituality in this world by working for peace, justice, equality, democracy, and respect for one another, as well as for the interdependent web of life, of which we are all a part. It's not who or what we believe that is important for us, but rather how we live our life. We are united by a shared covenant and draw wisdom and inspiration from Unitarian Universalist sources that include many faith traditions. We are atheist, agnostic, believers in God, and more. On the forefront of social and environmental justice, we champion 2S LGBTQA+ rights and inclusion, and act for a just and sustainable world. We welcome you, your whole self, with all of your faults, and trust me, I have many of them, all of your truths, your doubts, your worries, and your hopes. And part of starting every service, every gathering of Unitarian Universalists, we light our chalice. A chalice that found its way to life in the Second World War, being a chalice in the window, fleeing those who were fleeing people who were fleeing oppression and persecution in the Second World War. It became a safe haven. If we saw the light in the window, we knew that we were in a safe place. And so with that, I light our chalice to start this time together, acknowledging that together we create a brave space. And just one word of respect and acknowledgement, that our service tonight may touch on something very deep inside you, and that you might find yourself needing pastoral care. If that is you, in the back you will see those double doors, and it has a sign on it saying that pastoral care is through those doors, through another door, and turn to your right. And we have someone waiting for you to speak with. So with that, let us introduce Miranda, who will take us away and introduce the theme.
Thank you so much, Reverend Samaya. My name is Miranda Martini. I'm the Director of Programs for Affirming Connections, and I'm here also representing my colleague, Pam Rocker, who couldn't be with us physically, but who is, I'm sure, making a lot of enthusiastic noise in the live stream right now. And to our live stream joiners, thank you so much for being here. We see you, and we're really grateful that you could join us today. I can't tell you how moved I am to see such a a packed room of people who are here to celebrate all of us who are queerfully and wonderfully made. I shared with the representatives of faith communities that you'll be hearing from later on in the ceremony how important it is that all of us who gather here see all of their faces and hear from them in their own words. We, every year, have people who join us for this service who are floored to realize there is even one affirming congregation accessible to them in this community. And to find that there are so many that not only see us in the 2S LGBTQ plus community as beloved members of their community and invited into their faith traditions, but as necessary and beautiful and important and valuable to their communities exactly as they are, with no edits or reductions. This, as I'm sure you all know, has been an incredibly challenging year for queer people in this part of the world and everywhere. And so now more than ever, it's essential that we come together in moments of joy like this and we celebrate together. There is time for us to grieve and hold one another and feel sad and scared, but the fact that we can gather in this way, surrounded by pride flags and bright colors and wearing our Sunday best, that is the most powerful and spiritual resistance of everything that is so scary and wrong with the world today, that I could simply tear up about it, and I'm going to do that right now. But I would like for you to very quickly hear from all of our wonderful guests and from the faith communities that have joined us today. I will certainly have time to chat with all of you afterwards when we enjoy some refreshments just across the hall. And at that time, you're also welcome to help yourself to stickers, buttons, pins, and postcards that we had made addressing the Premier in answer to the planned legislation that will impact our trans community so deeply. All you have to do is sign your name and the community that you're from and add postage. And we would be really grateful if you rose up your voice now to let the government know that you stand with queer and trans folks. I would now love to invite Reverend Tony Snow to the stage.
Dagun Shawam in Tanja Stubby. This is our way of saying greetings to my relatives, my kinspeople. I come from the Stoney Nakoda First Nation. I'm a descendant of the signers of Treaty Number 7, and I am an ordained minister in the United Church of Canada, working in southern Alberta as the Indigenous minister to 90 churches here, and our interfaith community, as well as our interdenominational groups that reach out and want to do better work in reconciliation. I'm here to offer a smudge for us today in prayer. It is, as Miranda is saying, and we give great thanks to Pam at home and to Miranda for their tireless work to continue to do this each year, to continue to support this coming together of all groups. It's a way of affirming our coalition and of our support for one another, and to remember that we are not alone in this work. When I think about the times ahead for Pride Week and other events, we often think about, as Indigenous people, the erasure and loss of our Two-Spirit people. Those that were forced into conformity, those that were forced into assimilation, those that were erased from this earth. So it's important that we take time to remember, take time to understand the commitment that we have to being a better community moving forward. Lighting a smudge of the medicinal plants and herbs, sage and sweetgrass, and other healing plants that we use in our ceremony. We light this as a way of remembering our teachings. Our elders do this every morning. Do this to offer a cleansing and a purification of our heart and our intention. We believe that the smoke carries our prayers to the Creator. And as we light this, we remember in our land acknowledgement that in this space we made sacred connection to the mysteries in this land, the waters, the winds, the rains that cleanse and rejuvenate this space. As a workday lives and out its purposes, and as it was intended, we made with perfect love and perfect care. We live among our fellow inhabitants, the trees, the rocks, the four-legged, the two-legged, the winged, and the finned, where Creator lingers and cares for their work. We speak of blessing in this land and gratitude. We speak of responsibility and stewardship. We speak of belonging and enlightenment. The world teaches us. The world speaks to us, sings in our languages. Here, as we unite in purposeful living and honoring all that has been that we have been given. We give thanks for these sacred relationships with the first peoples, praying that they may continue to be held by our Tsutina, Disitapi, and Otipemiswak relations. From the Yarhe Nakota, I bid welcome to our treaty relations. We pray for your path here. We pray for your flourishing. We pray for your teachings and your ancestors. We pray for a place for each of us and all who live in difficult and trying times. We know this all too well, and so let us pray our four directions prayer. Ade makochi gern, naga ambane, inigi papich. Wehe nepa chagya nagene, inigi papich, usingina. Anonkine nacheaga, inigi papich, usingina. Iastya chagya nagenish, inigi papich, usingina. Wahiamba wadajian chagya nagenish, anawish chasta pangacha nagene, inigi papich, usingina. Makoya debe inigi papich, usingina. Ina makoche inigi papich, usingina. Adne makochi ger inigi papich, usingina. Amen. As we continue to work within this space, our guiding metaphor was this teaching of the table. We each gather and share at a table. And in sharing a meal, in sharing our time together, we think of those blessings that bring us together as people.
The setting of a table tells us that you are welcome here, that we have prepared a place just for your unique spirit in this world.
Every tradition, every faith has a way of coming together, has a way of bringing acknowledgement and understanding of our time together and of honoring those relationships with food, with the bounties of creation, and with the way that we are sharing what we have with one another. And it's an important lesson for our communities to remember that we all gather for these times in celebration, also to support one another.
And together we come, providing food that nurtures the soul.
We provide sustenance that nurtures our bodies.
We provide the vegetables and the fruit to bring us sweetness and light.
All of those things from our industry, all of those things from our effort to bring us into community together, because we share in that bounty.
There is so much to be grateful for when we come together in community to share food, to share laughter, to share good company.
In our tradition, we often would share the bounty of the hunt. And when COVID hit, many of our young people saw that our elders were struggling. And they went and they prayed, and they had a pipe ceremony. They went on a hunt and they brought back food because the elders were not able to get food in the store markets. And so they were able to provide and help and relearn some of those traditions that bind us together.
And of course, there is water. Water that washes away our pain, that brings us joy, that is very present as we share food and helps us be one.
Hello, my name is Gavin, and I am the music director here at Calgary Unitarians. And so we're going to sing together now. I don't know how many of you know this song, Queerfully and Wonderfully Made. If it's unfamiliar to you, we sing the chorus 4 times. So by the 4th time, you should be able to hum in and join kind of haphazardly. But for those of you that know it, I invite you to sing it with me. And as we do here at Calgary Unitarians, I invite you to stand in body or in spirit as you so will at this time. I am queerfully and wonderfully made. My body, mind, and soul can't be replaced. You can have your say, but I know who I am today. I am queerfully and wonderfully made. Heaven rejoiced at my birth, made in God's image, a child of sacred worth. Through an age of doubts and fears, and of thoughts too deep for tears, I have come this far by grace, and I won't stop now. 'Cause I am queerfully and wonderfully made. My body, mind, and soul can't be replaced. You can have your say, but I know who I am today. I am queerfully and wonderfully made. Heaven rejoiced at your birth, made in God's image, a child of sacred worth. Through an age of doubts and fears, and of thoughts too deep for tears, you have come this far by grace, and you won't stop now. 'Cause you are queerfully and wonderfully made. Your body, mind, and soul can't be replaced. No two of us the same, but each of us can claim that we are queerfully and wonderfully made. Heaven rejoiced at our births, made in God's image and filled with sacred worth. Through an age of doubt and fears, and of thoughts too deep for tears, we have come this far by grace, and we won't stop now. 'Cause we are queerfully and wonderfully made. Our bodies, minds, and souls can't be replaced. No two of us the same, but each of us can claim that we are queerfully and wonderfully made. And each of us can. We are queerfully and wonderfully made. Awesome, thank you.
So much, Gavin. That was beautiful. And thank you, everyone, for joining in song. As I mentioned earlier, you will be hearing from faith communities, affirming faith communities here on the theme of you are queerfully and wonderfully made. And because you are queerfully and wonderfully made, these faith communities have made a number of commitments on how they will protect and support 2S LGBTQ 2+ people in their midst. And I would like to now invite the first two rows to join us here at the front and share their offerings. Thank you.
I'm Doug Hayden. My pronouns are he, him. I'm pastor of the Community of Christ Church.
And I'm Parker Johnson, pronouns he, him.
And I'm Caitlin Ball, pronouns she, her.
We commit to stumble, fall, get up, and keep going until we get there to ensure you always have a place at the table.
Hello everyone, I'm Edgar from Knox United, and my pronouns is he.
I'm Michael from Knox United Church.
And I'm Graham Loudon Khan from Knox United. My pronouns are he, them.
Okay.
We are from Knox United Church. Because you are queerfully and wonderfully made, we commit to hosting the presence of 4 2S LGBTQ+ organizations per year to talk about different 2S LGBTQ+ issues with our church members to ensure you always have a place at the table.
My name is Reverend Tracy Robertson. My pronouns are she and her.
And my name is Reverend Marion Martin. My pronouns are she and her.
We're from St. Thomas United Church. And because you are queerfully and wonderfully made, we commit to reading our affirming statement every Sunday, offering affirming lunch and learns or movie nights, celebrating Pride at our annual Pride services in March for Pi Day and in June, and participate in Calgary's Pride Parade to ensure you always have a place at the table.
Hi, I'm the Reverend Dr. Laura Hulk. I'm the coordinator of social justice at Hillhurst United, and this is my cohort. Hi, Nancy. This is my cohort, Spirit River Striped Wolf, who can't be here tonight because Spirit River is part of has a part in the ceremony on the Tsuut'ina Nation tonight. But because you are queerfully and wonderfully made, we just hired Spirit River, who's a two-spirit person, to lead all of our queer ministries and to provide safe space. We also have a parents group, so that if you are missing parents, we provide parents. And we commit to stumbling along the way, because we're committed to listening to what you need to provide safe space so that you always have a place at the table. Before you clap, I'm also a Lutheran pastor, and I've been called to Emmanuel Community Church. I've been there 2 weeks. And I commit to you personally that this time next year there will be another Affirming Church in Calgary, because we have ongoing work to free people from the prisons of their minds that have them disregard people. I didn't say the other thing, which is I don't have pronouns because I'm also the safe space that you don't have to come out by telling me what your pronouns are.
My name is Emily.
I'm Margaret.
From Lutheran Campus Ministry. Because you are queerfully and wonderfully made, we commit to advocating for 2S LGBTQIA+ students on campus to ensure you have a place at the table and have a safe space to come to.
My name is Linda, she, her.
And my name is Kelsey, also she, her.
Because you are queerfully and wonderfully made, Robert McClure United Church is committed to being public, intentional, and explicit with our message, you belong because you are.
Whenever possible, we will attend rallies and write letters advocating for your rights. We commit to all this to ensure you always have a place at the table.
We are Lore, all pronouns, Pushkar, he, him, and Jess, she, her. We're from Campus United Calgary, a ministry serving MRU and U of C. Because you are queerfully and wonderfully made, we commit to providing explicitly affirming, pluralistic, and Christian weekly programming and faith-based counseling on our campuses.
Supporting queer celebrations of joy such as Pride Parade and Citywide Pride, and having queer representation in our leadership.
We want to ensure you always have a place at the table.
Hello, I'm Marlene Mello from Knox Presbyterian Church.
And I'm Tom Brownlee from Knox Presbyterian Church.
Because you are queerfully and wonderfully made, we commit to continue our stewardship of your financial resources.
To ensure you always have a place at the table with a friend on either side.
I am Reverend Greg Smith from Varsity Acres Presbyterian Church, VAPC, and because we are queerfully and wonderfully made, we at VAPC commit to advocate, to educate, and to build a safe and affirming faith community in Varsity and the Northwest neighborhoods, so that we all have a place at the table.
Good evening. I am the Reverend Bill Weaver. My pronouns are he, him.
I'm Jean McEachran. My pronouns are she, her. I'm Marilyn Bates. My pronouns are she, her.
And it is my privilege to be here tonight to participate in the representation of the shared ministry of McDougall United and Red Deer Lake United churches. So on behalf of the people of McDougall, we're not all going to say it together because that just gets weird. And because you are queerfully and wonderfully made, we commit to host 2 of our public discussion panel forum events this year, because the province kind of sucks right now and we need some experts to start to speak truth to power. So we commit to host these discussion panels in the next year to ensure that you always have a safe space at the table.
Hello, I'm Dave Churchill from Red Deer Lake United Church, and my pronouns he, him.
And I'm Jocelyn Churchill from Red Deer Lake United Church, and my pronouns are she, her. Red Deer Lake's community commitment will be to have a pronoun station with tools for people's pronouns that they can be added to their existing name tags.
We will pair it with an education campaign about how to politely ask for people's pronouns, the importance of using correct pronouns even when the person's not in their presence, and as well as expanding our Firm series to include 3 more Lunch and Learn speaker events to build on the momentum that we had through our first engagements. We want to ensure that you always have a place at the table.
Thank you so much to the first group of faith communities. You'll be hearing from more of them shortly. Next up, we have a prepared message from Alex Manitopyes, who designed our beautiful poster, who is here in absentia. They're unfortunately ill. They really wanted to be here, but we have a message from them that Reverend Tony Snow is going to read.
Do you have it? So the first time I heard from about Alex was when they were filming a segment for my sister for one of the Chalice short documentaries about her work in beadwork. And at that time, Alex was a very astounding filmmaker. And so when I heard that they had branched out into the work of fashion and in other areas, saw the articles that were coming through on Calgary Herald about their work being displayed in Vogue and other places. It struck me as an untapped talent within this area that continues to emerge from our Two-Spirit community. And so Alex is a non-binary, transmasculine, Indigenous fashion designer, and they are Nehiyaw and Anishinaabe. Born and raised in Wichispa Oyade, also called Mokinsis, also called Gutsitsi, and known to everyone else as Calgary. They are founder and CEO of Sacred Thunder Jewelry Design, and also do much work in videography. Alex writes, "Hello, my name is Alex Manitopyes, and I use they/them pronouns. I am a non-binary transmasculine fashion designer and the founder of Sacred Thunder. Sacred Thunder is an Indigenous-owned design brand that celebrates the fusion of culture and high fashion. I hail from Muskogecan and Pepicasis First Nation and proudly embrace the rich artistic traditions of Indigenous culture. I was born and raised in Mokinsis, drawing inspiration from my Calgary, from my heritage, to infuse each accessory with meaning and contemporary art style. Sacred Thunder pays homage to my last name, Manitopyes, which means sacred power bird or God's bird, referring to the thunderbird, a symbol of strength and resilience. Since its inception in 2023, Sacred Thunder has significantly impacted the fashion industry, offering a stunning collection of lightweight acrylic earrings that seamlessly blend modern aesthetics and authentic Indigenous craftsmanship. Emphasizing inclusivity and diversity, Sacred Thunder's accessories are designed for everyone, embodying a beautiful juxtaposition of tradition and modern technology. I graduated from SAIT's new production and design program in 2017, where I completed my internship with Make Fashion, a maker space that merges technology with fashion. At their Makespace Fusion 33, I was mentioned in laser cutting and earring design. Sacred Thunder has been featured in Vogue and will participate in fashion shows this fall in New York City, Milan, Paris, and LA. I created my Star Blanket statement design for Citywide Pride, incorporating the colors of the progressive Pride flag, and designed earrings that reflect that logo. The Star Blanket statement design is inspired by the Star Blanket quilt I encountered in my home communities during my visits. A cherished gift from one of my grandmothers at age 13. It symbolizes my family roots in Saskatchewan. The inspiration behind the Star Blanket comes from the legend of the 8-pointed morning star, a significant cultural narrative that embodies the beliefs and values of the Cree people. The symbol represents guidance, hope, and spiritual connection. According to the legend, the 8-pointed morning star is linked to dawn and new beginnings. During times of darkness and uncertainty, the morning star appeared in the sky, shining brightly to guide the people through their challenges. It serves as a reminder that light and hope can prevail in the darkest moments. Each point of the star represents various aspects of life and teachings, such as love, courage, wisdom, respect, and the interconnectedness of all beings, highlighting the importance of harmony with nature and community. The morning star is also viewed as a protector, leading people on their spiritual journeys. Its presence in the sky is a blessing, encouraging individuals to remain true to their paths and values. In essence, the 8-pointed morning star is a powerful symbol within Cree culture, embodying the teachings of strength, community, and the enduring spirit of the people. And so we thank Alex for their work and for their contribution, their support for this event. I had written them out of the blue, asking if they wanted to contribute anything, and right away they were right on board, and we really appreciate that kind of support coming from the grassroots community, especially those who have been affected and harmed by many of the Christian backgrounds, and working through that in this work to bring us healing and hope and understanding.
Sorry. Hi, I have a couple things. My name is Akira Hesslein. My pronouns are she, her. I'm going to be doing part of a speech, and then I'm going to be singing a song. But first, I was asked about bringing something to this table. I have something. I have a couple things. I have some rocks. I'll explain why, but you're going to have to wait on that. So I have a large rock. I'm going to put it here under the table. And I have 3 smaller rocks, which I'm also going to put under the table. And you're going to trust the process. All right. So we've been talking so far about this idea of a table. Who's at the table? What do we bring to the table? And so on. One thing we haven't touched on yet is talking about the table itself. And I think that that's important, so we're going to talk about this table. Now, it might just be the designer in me, but this table is going to be important. It's our space, after all. It's where we're going to meet and share and be a community together. So it's going to need to be perfect. But what do we need at this table? Well, to start, it's going to need to be big. Big enough for everyone to fit at it and to leave room for anyone who wants to join. It's also going to need to be the right height so that everyone can sit at it comfortably. And while we're at it, let's paint it like rainbows. But I digress. The most important thing, though, that I think we're going to need for this table is strength. More important than how big our table is, more important than what it's made of, is how strong our table is. It's got a lot to hold up, after all. It's got to hold up the myriad of viewpoints we bring to the table, our hopes, our dreams. It's got to hold up the future we want for ourselves and for those around us. And that's a lot of weight to hold up. And not only that, but sometimes it's not just what's on the table that we have to think about. Where is our table? I'd personally like to imagine our table is a park table or a large dining table in some cozy mansion. But I'll be honest here, our metaphorical table isn't in the best of locations. Sorry, lost my place. Our table is out of the way, sometimes hard to find. And that's to say nothing of the ground it stands on, because that's a factor too, isn't it? What ground does our table stand on? Because sometimes it feels like the ground our perfect space is built on is shaking. We try not to talk about this a lot of the time. In Calgary, in Alberta, in Canada, North America, and even the world, it feels like all we've worked to build is slipping away. Anti-2S LGBTQIA sentiment seems to be spreading wherever we look. Legislations are changing. Politicians are growing more polarized. This ground we've constructed our table, our space on, feels like it's shaking. Like if our table isn't good enough, the whole thing might collapse. That's something we try to avoid. We fight, we protest, we do everything we can to try and hold our table up. We support the table, support our space with everything we have, in the desperate hope that through sheer force of will, our table won't fall over. That's a feeling that, unfortunately, I think we're all quite familiar with. Trying to be the best support for our table while trying to keep it from collapsing. Feeling like we can't hold this thing up forever. Trying to be a perfect part of this perfect table. Trying to figure out what to do, who to be, in order to keep this table standing. About 6 months ago, I had my first foray into public activism. I had been to protests before, countless times, but I was asked to speak to CBC about what life had been like as a trans kid and what we thought of the space around us in terms of safety. And I'll admit, I was a little stressed. I did my best to temper my thoughts, to always say the right thing. I wanted to be the perfect activist, so convincing, so thoughtful that no one could hope to disagree with me. Was it naive? Maybe a little, and I knew that. But all the same, I felt this pressure to be a person people could rely on to say and do the right thing. It felt like my table was shaking, and I needed to be the perfect support to keep it up. Only a month later, the anti-trans bill was suggested in our province, and I wound up thrust back into this activism work. Although I wasn't in the forefront, I organized a walkout at my school and spoke to media several times. As the number of times I spoke increased, the more stressed I became. More and more eyes were on me. Never mind what I wanted to say and what I wanted to do, I felt like I had to be perfect. I had to hold up this table. I had to be palatable, but just angry enough to get people riled up. I had to always say the right thing. I had to pass enough to be a good trans person, but not so well that people didn't realize I was trans. Because when I thought of support, that thing we all want to do, I thought of a brick foundation. I mean, don't you? Support is strong, like a brick foundation. Every brick the same, laid together with mortar, tightly compressed enough to stand up to anything. I wanted to become a brick. I wanted to be strong, tough, able to support others, and able to work together. I wanted to be another perfect activist, another perfect part of the support to hold up our table. And to do that, I had to reshape myself from something unique into something standard, something conforming, something that fit perfectly. Now, I know that my problem with always trying to say the right thing isn't universal, but I think that the idea of trying to be a perfect activist is. When I organized my walkout, a lot of people came up to me apologizing for not being there or for missing part of it. We all had the same problem. All of us worrying that we weren't doing enough, that we weren't perfect bricks we needed to hold up this foundation. But the truth is, bricks don't stand up well to earthquakes. The mortar, the thing that's meant to hold all of us together, shatters, and we're left as a bunch of perfect bricks scattered around on the floor. And that's not going to help anyone. Now, I'm going to leave it there for now, but I promise I'll be back. Before I leave, I'm going to share a song I wrote. The song is called Metamorphosize. I wrote this song a little while ago, and it's about how everything sucks. But how that doesn't and shouldn't change why we fight and who we are, because that's why we're doing this, not because of the world around us. All right.
I'm still standing. I'm still here. Despite the world breaking, I couldn't bring myself to disappear. The world hates me. I feel it every day. The world hates me in every conceivable way, and I struggle to find myself in an ocean full of hate. But I knew when I started this, nothing would be the same, because I'm not the prettiest butterfly. I'm trailing fire through the sky. My shattered wings aren't pretty things for everyone to gawk at. I fell so far to get this high, so I'm not gonna say goodbye. I didn't metamorphosize, said I. Oh, 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 I didn't metamorphosize, said I. It's been 2 years to this day, and everything has changed since I started on this journey where everything is so strange. And I know the world hates me, and nothing will be alright. But I didn't make it this far to give up without a fight. Because I'm not the prettiest butterfly. I'm trailing fire through the sky. My shattered wings aren't pretty things for everyone to gawk at. I fell so far to get this high, so I'm not gonna say goodbye. I didn't metamorphosize, said I. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. I didn't metamorphosize, said I.
Thank you so much, Akira. That was beautiful. And look forward to hearing more from this extraordinary young person later. For now, I would ask the third and fourth row faith communities to please proceed to the stage to share. Thank you for your patience with one another getting up to the stage. There are so very many of you. As you're comfortable, I would appreciate you lining up on this side of the stage, but if you would like to keep your seat until it's your turn, that's also more than okay.
I'm Sheila McMaster, Director of Religious Education here at the Calgary Unitarians.
I'm Francis Lee. My pronouns are he and him.
And I'm Leslie Robinson, also of the Calgary Unitarians.
Anyone else?
Emotionally inclusive, coordinating events like our New Year's Eve party with queer organizations, everyone's welcome, and also providing queer inclusive human sexuality education. And this year we're doing grades kindergarten to grade 1 and grades 4 to 6. Also, everyone welcome. And the final line, which we moved, to ensure you always have a place at the table.
My name is Rich. I'm from the Road Church in Northwest Calgary. We meet at Varsity Acres on Sunday afternoons. Because we are queerfully and wonderfully made, we at the Road Church commit to growing in our capacity and calling to be a welcoming community that reflects the welcome of Christ. We commit to explicitly naming in all our gatherings that sexual minorities belong and are necessary to make us a robust community. We commit to featuring and elevating queer voices, celebrating Pi Day, and participating in Citywide Pride. And we hope to always be learning and doing better to ensure that you always have a place at the table.
Hi, I'm Karen Neufeld. My pronouns are she, her. I am the interim community care pastor at Calgary Intermennonite.
And I'm Karen Orr. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm a member at Calgary Intermennonite Church.
Because you are queerfully and wonderfully made, we commit to learning more and gaining understanding of the current challenges trans people face in Alberta.
We will also continue to welcome and support 2S LGBTQ+ people to leadership roles within our congregation to ensure that you always have a place at the table.
Good evening, and thank you to the Unitarian Church for hosting such a wonderful event. We're very happy to be here. We represent the St. Bridget of Kildare Roman Catholic women priest-led community in Calgary. We commit to purchasing and displaying a Progress Pride flag and pronoun markers for those who choose to use them to ensure, again, that you are always have a place at our table.
Good evening, friends. My name is Alina Friedman, she, her, and I'm with the Religious Society of Friends, Quakers, the Quaker meeting here in Calgary. Because we're all queerfully and wonderfully made, and in light of Quaker tenets regarding peace, equality, justice, and community, we celebrate all expressions of love and identity for every age, gender, sexuality, and family structure. And we strive to keep your concerns at the forefront to ensure that we all always have a place at the table.
Hi, I'm sorry, I'm slow. My name is Safa, my pronouns are she, her, and I am here on behalf of El Tawhid Jummah Circle, which is the Calgary Unity Mosque. Thank you. So because we are queerly and wonderfully made, we commit to being your voice, your family, and your ummah, and meeting at least once a month in person, to ensure that you always have a place at the table, a safe space to be, and to pray without gender segregation.
Hi, I'm Sandy Mann from B'nai Tikva Congregation. Because
We are all queerfully and wonderfully made. We commit to continue to be a place of welcome every day and to hold an annual Pride Shabbat, a Shabbat dedicated to celebrating the diversity of our community and your role in it. And we always have a table at the temple, and you always have a place at it.
Good evening. I'm Reverend Cindy Christie Brooks of Fish Creek United Church and Shared Ministries, as well as Calgary Queer Church. Because we are queerfully and wonderfully made. We at Fish Creek United Church and Shared Ministries commit to an ongoing examination and reinterpretation of our worship traditions, and to continue to seek to incorporate new and inclusive, expansive liturgical language and theological and biblical understanding to ensure that you always know that you have a place at the table.
Hi, I'm Erin Clausen, she, her. This is Allison, pronouns currently undecided. We're at Scarborough United Church, and because we are queerfully and wonderfully made, we commit to providing free space to 2S LGBTQIA+ artists to showcase their work, and we will promote and celebrate their creativity to ensure that all have a place at the table. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be with you. So we were asked as guests to bring something that we might bring to the table. So this is very simply, this is a prayer mat that lives in the back of my trunk with a very large picnic blanket. So everywhere in the world is sacred space. So I have this with me so that if anyone wants to pray at any time, I have it with me. So thank you very much for the honor of remembering those who are not with us, those we have lost this year to illness, to violence, ignorance, or pain. Forgive me, this is the second time I've been in this room since Jane passed, and it's harder than I thought it would be. Assalamu alaikum, ahla diyari min al-mu'minina wal-muslimina wa inna insha'allahu bikum lahiquna wa yarhamallahu mustaqdimina minna wa mustakhirina asallallahu lana wa lakum al-afiyata. Peace be upon you, people of this abode, from among the believers, and we, by the will of Allah, shall be joining you. May Allah have mercy on the first of us, the last of us, and I ask Allah to grant us and you strength. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi rajiun. From God we are born, and to her we return. Thank you.
The poem that we read and the reason why we have the display of the table is because there was a poem written by Joy Harjo, who I met in 1996, who later became Poet Laureate of the United States for 3 unprecedented years, and has always been a strong resource to our people in connecting our teaching and that word of faith that brings us into relationship. In her book, The Woman Who Fell from the Sky, there's a poem entitled, "Perhaps the World Ends Here." Perhaps the world ends here. The world begins at a kitchen table. No matter what, we must eat to live. The gifts of earth are brought and prepared, set on the table. So it has been since creation, and it will go on. We chase chickens or dogs away from it. Babies teethe at the corners. They scrape their knees under it. It is there that children are given instruction on what it means to be human. We make relatives at it. We make family. At this table, we gossip, recall enemies, and the ghosts of lovers. Our dreams drink coffee with us as they put their arms around our children. They laugh with us at our poor falling down selves as we put ourselves back together again, once again, at the table. This table has been a house in the rain, an umbrella in the sun. Wars have begun and ended at this table. It is a place to hide, in the shadow of terror, and a place to celebrate a terrible victory. We have given birth on this table. We prepared our parents for burial here. At this table, we sing with joy and with sorrow. We pray of suffering and remorse. We give thanks. Perhaps the world will end at the kitchen table while we are laughing and crying, eating of the last sweet bite. We take time remembering all those that have gone on, all those that we have loved, all those that we remember today. We take time to give space to that remembrance, that honor, that joy, and that hurt. And so we take a moment for all these senses to remind us that we are here in this world. We are here embodying our spirits and in our bodies, to know we are connected, to know we are at peace at this time, to remember what this means as we move forward. Let us join in a time of silence. Thank you.
Wow. What a wonderful evening this is. An evening of joy, an evening of compassion, and an evening of outrage. Three feelings that I am sure you will agree, if combined and channeled in the appropriate direction, can do nothing less than save our broken world. I have in my hands here an object called a shofar, a ram's horn. And in a few weeks, Jews around the world, we're going to be gathering to celebrate Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, and we will sound this horn. And it is also said that this horn will be sounded at the time of the arrival of the Messiah, when the world becomes what it can and should be. We will hear the blast of the shofar. I'm not going to blow it tonight. It's really hard to get a sound out of this thing. And maybe that's as it should be, because our world still remains a broken place. You see, as long as there is oppression and hatred, the shofar will remain unsounded. As long as there is bigotry and unfair discrimination, the shofar will remain unsounded. As long as there are those who try to stand in the way of people loving one another, the shofar will remain unsounded. And as long as there are those who refuse to respect and honor the gender of their neighbors, the shofar will remain unsounded. And so we have this deafening silence, calling upon each of us to act on behalf of a better world. One more brief Jewish teaching. The ancient rabbis said that if you look another human being in the eye, really look in the eye, you can see a whole world in there. The whites of their eyes are the seas. The iris is the land. The pupil is Jerusalem, the city sanctified by so many. And the little white spot that you can see in the pupil, that's the Holy of Holies in the middle of the ancient temple. That most sacred spot, the place where God resides. It's a call for each of us to acknowledge our shared humanity. Whomever we love, whatever our gender, however we might view our own identity. Let's look in one another's eyes, my friends. Let's see the world there, and let's see that glowing presence of God there. And maybe when we can all do that, then this great shofar will be able to issue its clarion call to us all. Shalom.
All right, I'm back. I'll admit, I didn't leave things on a great note. The earth is shaking, our table is in danger, and all our attempts to hold it up are doomed to failure if we keep trying to be perfect activists. It's not exactly optimistic, but I promise we'll get there. Recently, I had a chance to visit some ancient castles in Japan. Now, Japan actually runs pretty much right across a massive fault line, and if you keep up to date, you'll know it's got a history of earthquakes. So when I went, I was really excited to find out how they built massive castles that have stood through countless earthquakes and still remain standing. And what I found out is this. Instead of cutting their stone into identical bricks and laying them together with mortar, they actually take rocks and lay them together loosely, adding smaller rocks in between to fill the space. One guy even made his castle with some gravestones, which I personally think is awesome. But the point is that all of the stones are different, and there are some gaps in between them. But when an earthquake comes, the rocks shift closer together and the foundation gets stronger. Let me say that again. When an earthquake comes, the rocks shift closer together and the foundation gets stronger. The smaller rocks shift to fill the gaps between the bigger rocks, and the bigger rocks hold up everything around them. All of them supported by each other. They're not held in place by mortar or anything like that, but instead their jagged, imperfect edges catch on each other. Their differences, their imperfections are what hold them together. And the foundation is stronger for it. That's a fascinating idea, isn't it? Instead of trying to cut ourselves down or bulk ourselves up into bricks, we stand together in all of our imperfections. And when the earthquake comes, instead of all falling apart, we hold those around us in all their imperfections, and we get stronger. Not in spite of our differences, like with bricks, but because of them. Because, let's be honest, the pressure to be a brick is immense. We're always told there's a better way to say something, always more people you could convince, always more fights you could be fighting, and that all of the pressure rests on our shoulders for the next generation to stand on. But instead, just here, I want to challenge that idea. We don't need perfect activists or perfect bricks to hold up our foundation, because we're weaker if we all try to be perfect. We need ourselves. Our foundation isn't made of bricks, and we need to stop trying to hold things up like it is. Our foundation is made out of a dizzying variety of rocks, all of them holding up each other. Our foundation is made of big rocks, the people that support countless others by holding events like this one. And without those people, our foundation would fall. Our foundation is made of smaller rocks, the people who don't or can't do everything and just do what they can, whether it's coming to events or supporting those around them or just trying to get by. Because without those people, our foundation would fall. Our foundation has gravestones, those whose deaths are remembered by the community and serve as a way to connect, a way to gather, and someone to remember. And without those people, our foundation would fall. Our foundation is held up by all of the imperfections of all of these people. And when the earthquake comes, instead of falling apart, we hold on to those around us. We love those around us in all of our beautiful imperfections, and we say, "You're enough. Everything you do, everything you are, is enough. What you do for the community, whether it's organizing events or coming to them or just trying to get by, is enough. You don't have to do more. You don't have to give up any part of who you are in order to hold up this foundation. Because when the earthquake comes, your imperfections, your differences don't make this foundation weaker. They make it stronger." So, I think we've been going in the wrong direction with trying to make our table perfect from the start. We've been so focused on making the perfect table, the perfect space, that we've forgotten why we fight, to embrace our differences. Our table and our foundation, like us, doesn't need to be perfect. All that matters is whether we can reach out and support each other when the ground shakes. If we can learn to embrace our imperfections, to stand together stronger than ever. And looking out at all of you, I think we can. this last song, the last song, is called Younger Me. And I wrote this song quite a few years ago as a callback to, well, a younger me, and to all of those people out there who don't have an older version of themselves to talk to. That's it. You'll have to wait to find out what it's about.
I know how it feels to be buried alive. I know how it feels stuck in a body that isn't mine, waiting for a thing that might never arrive, waiting for the day you might get a reprieve. If I could go back to my younger self and there was anything that I could tell, I know what I'd say. You will get through it, I know you can. You will get through it, I know I have my younger me. My younger me. All that waiting isn't for nothing. You do finally get something. I know you will, I know you will. You younger me. I know how hard it is to believe that anything could change. I know that you just want to give up and cry yourself a rain. And I know you're probably like, hey, who's this person with a time machine claiming to be my older self? But seriously, you'll survive. You all will survive. If I could go back to my younger self and there was anything that I could tell, I know what I'd say. You will get through it, I know you can. You will get through it, I know I have my younger me. My younger me. All that waiting isn't for nothing. You do finally get something. I know you will, I know you will. You younger me. You younger me. You younger me. You younger me. All that waiting isn't for nothing. You do finally get something. I know you will, I know you will. You younger me. 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 I love you.
Thank you again, Akira. That was really exceptional. I would like to invite for the final time our faith communities in the fifth and sixth row. Any remaining faith communities, please rise and join us to let the folks know about you.
My name is Reverend Hilary Van Sponson from Simons Valley United Church, pronouns she, her. We commit to continuing to declare publicly, intentionally, and explicitly that trans rights are human rights, and will work with our MLA to oppose the hateful and bigot proposed legislative changes concerning transgender and queer people to ensure all have a place at the table.
Good evening, my name is Mary.
I'm Elizabeth.
I'm the Reverend Dr. Jane Rowland.
And this is Helen Berry. And we are from St. Lawrence Anglican Church. And at St. Lawrence, we gather around the table each week as a sign of our commitment to welcome and to inclusivity. Because we are queerfully and wonderfully made, it is a table of joy and wonder. There is always a place at our table for you.
Hello, I'm Connie. My pronouns are she, her.
I'm Debbie. My pronouns are she, her.
And I'm Tracy. My pronouns are also she, her.
And we are here representing the partnership of St. David's and Northminster United Churches. Because you are queerfully and wonderfully made, we commit to
intentionally supporting you in all aspects of our faith community, as we are all children of God.
We also commit to advocating for your rights. Specifically, we will advocate for the rights of transgender youth and young adults by speaking out and writing to our premier, ministers, and MLAs.
To ensure that you always have a place at the table.
Our advocacy is important. Our work to bring to light fairness and equality is why we do this work. The pride flag that we have here, created by Rainy Chief Designs, is a teepee and the feathers that adorn the stripes. It is the only one of its kind made. And it is an important symbol of how we come together, how we work together. The past couple of years, I've been working with various groups within the city to try to bring forward a Two-Spirit powwow. So that will be the agenda item for the Indigenous Ministries work for 2025, to come forward with a Two-Spirit powwow. And for the table, rocks are our grandfathers. They are those that were here before us and will be here long after us, and they teach us. This rock says love in the shape of a heart.
I'd now like to welcome Jessica Bunny to the stage. Where are you, Jessica? Searching, scanning the crowd. Wonderful. All right, I'll let you take it away.
Hello everyone, I am Jessica Bunny. I am a drag queen, queer artist, Métis, and just happy to be here. I picked this song, one, because it's fun, and I think we can all have a little more fun, but also because it expresses that we all have value, purpose, worth, and are worthy of love, exactly as we are. So if you can hit the music.
It doesn't matter if you love him or capital H-I-M. Just put your paws up, 'cause you were born this way, baby. My mama told me when I was young, we're all born superstars. She rolled my hair, put my lipstick on, in a glass of her boudoir. There's nothing wrong with loving who you are, she said, 'cause he made you perfect, babe. So hold your head up, girl, and you'll go far. Listen to me when I say, I'm beautiful in a way, 'cause I make no mistakes. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. Don't hurt yourself and regret, just love yourself instead. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. Oh, there ain't no other way, baby, I was born this way. Baby, I was born this way. There ain't no other way, baby, I was born this way. Right track, baby, I was born this way. Don't be a drag, just be a queen. Don't be a drag, just be a queen. Don't be a drag, just be a queen. Give yourself prudence and love your friends. Subway kid, rejoice your truth. In the religion of the insecure, I must be myself, respect my youth. A different law is not a sin. Believe capital H-I-M. Hey, I love my life, I love this record, and me, I'm on it, roll it, yes. I'm beautiful in my way, 'cause I make no mistakes. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. Don't hurt yourself and regret, just love yourself instead. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. Oh, there ain't no other way, baby, I was born this way. Baby, I was born this way. There ain't no other way, baby, I was born. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. Don't be a drag, just be a queen. Whether you're broke or evergreen, you're black, white, beige, chola descent, you're Lebanese, you're Orient. Whether life's disabilities left you outcast but leader teased, rejoice and love yourself today, 'cause baby, you were born this way. No matter gay, straight or bi, lesbian, transgender life, I'm on the right track, baby, I was born to survive. No matter black, white or beige, chola or Orient made, I'm on the right track, baby, I was born to be brave. I'm beautiful in my way, 'cause I make no mistakes. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. Don't hurt yourself and regret, just love yourself instead. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way, yeah. Oh, there ain't no other way, baby, I was born same DNA, but born this way.
Hi friends, I'm Pam Rocker, Director of Affirming Connections, and we are so proud to be able to co-present the Citywide Pride Interfaith Gathering for the 6th year in a row. I really wish that I could be there in person. This is always one of my favorite days of the entire year. Unfortunately, I just had knee surgery, and so I'm still mending, but I'm so glad that I'm able to be here virtually. When I think about the theme for this year of Queerfully and Wonderfully Made, I don't just think about the amazing song that we sang by Mark Miller or the amazing design that Alex did for us. I also think about the fact that it wasn't until I was around 25 years old that I actually began to believe that maybe I was queerfully and wonderfully made. I had heard that, I was created to be who I was, except for anything that had to do with being queer. That was something that needed to be hidden, erased, invisible, or cured. But then, thankfully, I was able to hear different voices and be in different environments. And I remember that exact day and the time and where I was sitting and what I was looking at when it finally sank in. And I realized that it wasn't just that I was okay or tolerable or even accepted or affirmed. Yes, those things, but that I was on purpose. I wasn't something that God had to get over or overlook. I was a being that was created just like I was created to have blue eyes and great hair and be very demure and very mindful. I was also created to be queer. That wasn't something I had to struggle with. And I'm so thankful for that moment and for the hundreds of moments since then that I've gotten to experience that affirm me and show me that I'm meant to be and on purpose, because we know that there are so many voices in the world still that want to legislate who we are and shame who we are and want us to be invisible. And so I'm thankful for a day like this when we can come together in community, so many different voices and perspectives and faiths, and say, you know what? We all have this in common, that we know that our beloved 2S LGBTQIA plus community is queerfully and wonderfully made, that we are on purpose. And I wanted to read just a short poem by Joe Davis that reminds me, and hopefully reminds you, that being together in community in this space is exactly where we should be able to be all that we are. So here it is. It's called This Place. Here is where we give you the permission you haven't given yourself to show up and be your most authentic self. You can cry here. You can take your time here. To be you is not a crime here. We are all divine here. We shine brighter when we all shine here. We rise higher when we all rise here. We practice being kind here. We celebrate the fact that we are still alive here. You can make mistakes here. No guilt, blame, or shame here. There's only grace here. We know you by name here. So glad you came here. We hope you stay here. All that you are can be reclaimed and embraced here. So friends, thank you for being here. When we're together in community and we don't seek to hide our differences or to flatten our differences, but we allow each other to just be who we are, even if we disagree on some other things. That is where we can create a world where everything is possible. Thank you for being you and for being here.
And that's a great segue that Pam gave us into our closing song, Everything Possible. I love this song. There's lots of different things that might strike you in lots of different ways. So if you know this song, I invite you to stand in body or spirit and join me in singing. And if not, listen, and it might change you. Everything Possible. This is our closing song tonight. We've cleared off the table, leftovers saved, washed the dishes and put them away. I've told you a story, tucked you in tight at the end of your knockabout day. As the moon sets its sails to carry you to sleep over the midnight sea, I will sing you a song no one sang to me. May it keep you good company. Oh, you can be anybody you want to be. You can love whomever you will. You can travel any country where your heart leads, and know that I will love you still. You can live by yourself, you can gather friends around, you can choose one special one, and the only measure of your words and your deeds will be the love you leave behind when you're gone. There are girls who grow up strong and bold, there are boys quiet and kind. Some race on ahead, some follow behind, some go in their own way and time. Some women love women, some men love men, some raise children, some never do. You can dream all the day, never reach in the end of everything possible for you. Don't be rattled by names, by taunts, by games, but speak out, spirit's true. If you give your friends the best part of yourself, they'll give the same back to you. Oh, you can be anybody you want to be. You can love whomever you will. You can travel any country where your heart leads, and know that I will love you still. You can live by yourself, you can gather friends around, you can choose one special one, and the only measure of your words and your deeds will be the love you leave behind when you're gone. Beautiful. Thank you.
Gavin, and thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Our time together is drawing to a close, and I'm sure we all have a lot to discuss while we're enjoying some refreshments afterwards and being in community with one another. But I do want to thank our guests one more time, and I'll name them, and you can applaud as loud as you like at the end. Thank you so much to Alex Manitopyes for being here in absentia, and for this really beautiful design and that jewelry. Holy smokes. You know, sometimes you can't hold your applause to the end, I understand. I know, I get it. Thank you so much to Akira Hesslein for being here and for those incredible songs. That was, and your powerful words. That was so necessary. Thank you, Jessica Bunny, for bringing so much levity and joy that we so needed. When's the last time you smiled this much in church? And Safa Rahman, Rabbi Mark Glickman, and of course, Reverend Tony Snow, thank you so much for sharing words of wisdom today. I did also want to thank First Third Ministry for lighting the candles during the reading of Perhaps the World Ends Here. All of your contributions were really beautiful and necessary. And of course, it wouldn't be possible without a home to have it in. So thank you so much to Calgary Unitarians to opening their doors to us. Thank you, Reverend Smaya. Thank you to the AV team who have been wonderful. And to Mariana Louise Kovar, who has been here since, I don't know, dawn or something, getting things ready. I'm looking for her eyes and not seeing them, but she's getting food ready, of course. Thank you so much for having us, and I look forward to talking with all of you. I'll remind you to take postcards with you when you go. Bring enough for your congregation. Take stickers. We got stickers made of this beautiful design, so take some home with you. And find us, Affirming Connections, again next week at Calgary Pride. We'll be there all day, so please come say hi and celebrate with us some more. I'm very, very grateful to have been with you all here today, and I'll let Reverend Smaya close us out.
Thank you.
I'm not on the headset. I just want to thank Miranda and Pam and Affirming Connections for their tremendous organization for this event. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Before I release you for refreshment and conversation and a little bit of fresh air and breeze, just take a quick moment and look around this room. Look at these beautiful faces. Together we are queerfully and wonderfully made. Oh, my dear ones, whatever your gender, whomever you love, go knowing that you are a divine, unique spirit, sent down from heaven to this earth to be uniquely who you are. Let your light shine beautifully because the world needs it. You are sacred. You are divine. Go in peace to let your light shine. And what we do when we extinguish our chalice at the end of our services, we're going to blow it out. And instead, I want you to grab a spark of it and bring it to your heart to warm you as you go through these next few days. Are you ready to do that? Yeah. Okay, get your hands ready. Here we go.
Yes, okay. Yes, thank you.
He didn't take a picture of us when we were up.
Okay. We'll pretend we're reading.
Thank you so much.
I'll just stand here. Wonderfully made.